नेशनल हाईवे 44 के रास्ते कुंडली बॉर्डर
I do not work anywhere. So now, after having worked for many years, and I have and then basically focus on my students. I used to teach and also work for several years.
बॉर्डर पार करने वाला था.
But then I find out that if you do that, that you cannot really focus on your students. And it is very, very important to remain focused 100% with the students. So that basically means all my 7 days are dedicated to you. You can reach out to me, you can email me, you can call me, you can WhatsApp me if my help is needed. Although I have other team members as well, Ashu, Asif, and few other people who are working in the training activities. And you can also reach out to me directly as well. Now, what is SAP? So SAP is a German company. It's established in 1972. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. So it's a company which is more than 5 decades now. Now most of the company which we have, they're like 5-year, 10-year, and that kind of experience. In contrast to that, SAP has been in the
सूचना मिलते
market
ही बजरंग दल
for last so many years. And that shows the resonance and presence of SAP, a long presence in marketplace. Now, if you see there is 75,000 employees, so it's one of the largest software company in the world. 291,000 customers. So what does it really mean? So that basically means that if you make a list of Fortune 2000 company in the world, Fortune 2000 companies in the world, then 87% of them use SAP. 87% of Fortune 2000 companies in the world uses SAP. All these large corporations, Pepsi's and Coca-Colas and Apples and Samsungs and Verizons, one thing is common in all of them. They use SAP. So it's a complete dominance. In a way, it's a monopoly as far as the enterprise applications is concerned. In more than 190 countries. 190 countries where SAP has a presence. Now talking about SAP product portfolio. So one of the things which is become confusing, challenging to understand the product portfolio. In fact, that is the one of the goal for the class today is to discuss and to talk about what are the different product portfolio is. Okay. So here we have on the center of this slide, if you look at carefully, it has something called SAP ERP. ERP basically means enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource. This is SAP central product. So when we say SAP is being used by this company and that company, when you're learning, let us say FISD, MMPPQ module, you're talking about this product which is called SAP ERP. ERP basically means enterprise resource planning. Then it has many other products. Look at carefully. It says CRM, customer relationship management, SCM, supply chain management, PLM, product lifecycle management, SRM, supplier relationship management, marketplace, business intelligence, enterprise portal, whole financial suite, human capital management, and many more. And if you see on the top, there's something called SAP for industry. SAP for industry. SAP has been used in more than 24 industries. 24 industries SAP has been used. 24. So aerospace and defense, automotive, pharma, you mentioned other companies, retail, wholesale, distribution. So that basically means when you learn SAP, it can apply to more than 24 different industries. And I also mentioned 190 countries. So 190 country basically means that SAP has been used in 190 country, which basically means it is independent of location. So you might be there in the US, you may be there in Canada, you may be there in Europe, you may be there in India, etc., etc. One thing is common in all of them, that they all SAP has a presence in those countries and locations. Then SAP has something called SAP All-in-One or SAP Business One. SAP Business One is SAP's product for mid-market. And then in the bottom, we have something called SAP NetWeaver. SAP NetWeaver is the name of SAP's platform. And apart from the platform, it also have some other products. See how many products? Enterprise Portal, Business Intelligence, Master Data Management, XI and PI, and various technology components. And now that is the power and the strength of SAP as it is, because it is the very vast richness and comprehensiveness of the product portfolio. And they are not all. And there are many more which we will discuss in subsequent slides. Now, one thing which comes up pretty common, and then it becomes confusing, that what is SAP S/4HANA? Where does SAP S/4HANA fit into all this platform? So let us talk about, now look at this slide very carefully. What does this slide basically tells us? So what does this slide tells us basically is that these are the four fundamental incarnations of SAP. Four. Now what are those? Okay. So here we have a SAP R2. Okay. SAP R2 is basically a two-layer architecture. Okay. And we have a which is come in 1979. Okay. Then we have SAP R3. And SAP R3 basically means three-layer architecture. Okay. And that is basically 1992. Then after R3, then came SAP ECC. ECC means Enterprise Central Component. And then basically means in 2004. And then in the last, we have SAP S/4HANA. Okay. SAP S/4HANA. In the SAP S/4HANA, Okay, so that basically means this is the latest ERP and the next generation of ERP. Now remember though, this is the same product. This is the same product, but different multiple versions. Same product, like a Windows 11, Windows 8, Windows 10. So S/4HANA is nothing but ECC in most part. And of course, there are some changes, some differences. But fundamentally, it is the same ERP and the evolution of the same ERP. So S/4HANA, let me demystify, is nothing but the next version of SAP ECC. That is what this module is about. Okay. And now let us talk about some other. This is another view of the product evolution. Let's understand this is a bit more in detail, and let's understand this a bit more in depth. What does this basically means? So here we have SAP R2. It's a two-layer architecture. It's a mainframe system. And then came SAP R3. And then its architecture used to be called SAP Basis. Then came SAP R3 4.6c. And then SAP came with the two new dimensional product, CRM, Customer Relationship Management, and APO. Now, and this is another surprising and important fact, which is for almost part, SAP was just a one product company, one product, SAP ERP. But now it has evolved in the last 25 years and 20 years and so into multitude of the different products. Then SAP R3. Now this is SAP ERP. So when you're planning to learn finance module, SD module, MM module, PP module, you're planning to learn some part of this monster, which is called SAP ERP. And then this sits on this platform, which is called SAP NetWeaver. And then apart from this platform, this is a core product. SAP also have many other products. It is CRM, Customer Relationship Management. It is SRM, Supplier Relationship Management. SCM, Supply Chain Management. PLM, Product Lifecycle Management. HCM, which is Human Capital Management. Many products, many evolution of the product. This is, we call it SAP S/4HANA Diamond. Now look at this slide very carefully, and then you will see how SAP is constructed. On this slide, if you look at it, there are some colors. These colors basically demonstrates how SAP is being constructed. So there is a green color, there's a red color, there's yellow color, there's a purple color. There's a green is logistic, red is finance, yellow is HR, and then purple is different technical aspects. So then let me also try log into SAP. So I try to log into SAP, and this is SAP S/4HANA, and being logged in using through SAP GUI, graphical user interface. So when I log into SAP through GUI, this is how it SAP look like. This is SAP Easy Access. So we see here there's a green, and green has all these modules. And if you go here, it's a logistic. And within the logistic suite, SAP has many different products which are there in SAP. Now, what does this really basically means? So here we can have various modules in the logistic ecosystem, where you have a materials management, sales and distribution, logistic execution, production process, plant maintenance, customer service, quality management, logistic. They are all various modules of logistic. And then when we see accounting, and then there are different modules in the accounting, where you have financial accounting, controlling, etc. Then if you see here, there's a human resource. These are various aspects of HR. And then there is information system. That is where you have all different type of reports. Because at the end of the day, we should be able to analyze, we should be able to see the performance of our business. And we have a strategic enterprise management, financial analyst, product life cycle, logistic, accounting, etc., etc. So these are various information system. Now, one more thing which is I want to, if you see this slide very carefully, you will observe that for each of the module, there's empty boxes. Okay. So here, what is these empty boxes means? And why are these empty boxes are? So these empty boxes basically are that when you're planning to learn SAP or any module of SAP, then what do you learn? You learn two things. You learn what is there in the box. So if you're learning SD, then you learn what are kind of functions there in SD or in MM or FI or other modules. But you also learn how to extend. So if I want to add a new functionality, then what do we have? Then we go to tools. In the tools, first and foremost, there is ABAP Workbench or ABAP Editor, where you can create any kind of a programming. Okay, so that is where the various type of programming come into the picture, and that is but programming is only done by the programmers. So we are not becoming a programmer; we are the functional consultant. So what do we do? So another important part of our learning is basically in SAP called customizing. So here we go to implementation guide, and that is where all different sources and comes into the picture. Okay. And here we can define into and that is basically we can see all these different functions. Okay, and that is what we have. That is what we have, all these different configurations. Okay. So now, and that is what we see here. Now let's look at some of these modules. Okay. So now let's look at some of these modules which we see. Now in this module, and there's a finance module, there's a controlling module, there's a human resource or HR module, there's a sales and distribution module, there's a production planning module, there's a materials management module, there's a customer service module, project system module, there is a warehouse management module, there is a quality management module, plant maintenance module, etc. Now let's look at some of these modules. So when you go to finance module, for example, so what is there in the finance module? And here we have some of these functions, and we look into SAP as well. So when we go to SAP, and if we want to see the finance module, what is there in it? So we go back, we go to accounting, financial accounting, and these are the various functions which is there in general ledger, account receivable, account payable, banking, fixed asset, etc. Then we have a controlling. So we can do different type of controlling. So you can do the cost accounting. Okay, cost accounting. Then you have a HR module. So we see here, and then there is HR module, and then you can see different type of HR modules and functions. Okay. Then if you go and check sales and distribution module, sales and distribution is another core module and primary module of SAP. Okay. So that basically means we can check here in sales and distribution what kind of functions are there. So if you go back here and go to logistics, there is a sales and distribution. In the sales and distribution module, we have a master data, sales and distribution, and sales processes and various kind of inquiry, quotation, sales order, shipping, transportation, billing, credit management, others and others. Okay. And then sales and distribution is another core module, an important module of SAP. The reason? Because at the end of the day, customer matters. Then there's a production planning. So if you have, for example, manufacturing company, then production planning become very, very important. And that becomes a central module. So if you see here, there is a production planning where you can take care of the entire manufacturing. And in order to take, you can do different type of manufacturing. It could be discrete manufacturing, non-discrete, is continuous manufacturing, pharmaceutical, different type of manufacturing. So that is where we have a master data, SOP, DRP, etc., etc., etc. These are various elements of your production. Then another important module and core module of SAP is called materials management. Materials management. Now, materials management is another core module because any company will always require every kind of material is needed, required, necessary by any company. You may be manufacturing, you may be non-manufacturing, you could be retail, you could be wholesale distribution. There will always be materials. And that is why this is another core module and very widely used module of SAP, where you can have various entire cycle of materials management. It comes from purchasing, inventory, invoice working, physical inventory, valuation, planning, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Then we also have customer service module. The customer service module basically taking care of the various aspects of the customer service. You sold the product, project system. If your company is managing, doing different type of projects, so you can do project system. Okay. And here we also have warehouse management. Now, warehouse management is another very, very important module of SAP. Because why that is the case? Because if you go around, you are going to Costco, you're going to warehouse. You're going to Walmart, you're going to warehouse. You're going to, Best Buy, going to warehouse. If you're going to Home Depot, one thing we always visit is the different type of warehouses. And that is where the warehouse management is critically important in central module, because it allows us to having a different type of management of the warehouse functions. Okay. And then we also have quality management. So in the quality management, you can have a managing quality of the different product and plant maintenance. So these are the various modules of SAP. And if I recap, what are the core modules? So finance, obviously the core module, controlling, human resource module, Sales and distribution is another core module of SAP. Then there is a production planning, materials management, customer service, project system, warehouse management, quality management, and plant maintenance. And now, apart from the ERP, there is another product that is called CRM, Customer Relationship Management. So in the CRM, we can have a different type of CRM where you can do marketing, sales, and service, and ability to reach customer through different channels. CRM is a separate product of SAP. Then there is another thing called APO. So APO basically is an advanced supply chain management process or product which allow you to do the planning from the horizon of years to the months to the days to the minutes. Then you also have various, there is a, we discussed in the beginning also, and that is also called NetWeaver. Okay. Now, NetWeaver is the name of SAP's platform. Now, apart from being platform, it also has something called various other products. So see at the bottom, there's a web application server. Now, that's where the SAP lives and breathes. Apart from that, we have XI and PI, that is SAP's middleware. Okay. And then we have a MDM, Master Data Management. Okay. And then we have a BI and BW. So that is BI and BW is SAP's central reporting platform. Then you have, then you have a enterprise portal, which allow you to do single sign-ons. And then it also have a mobile infrastructure. Now see about how many different SAP product SAP has. Now we are not done. Now look at it. How does any ERP system or any system for that matter works? So if you look at this system carefully, then what do we see? So we have here, there's input and there's output. So there's input of the different type of data, and then there is output of the different type of data. So there is input and there is output. Now, the primary purpose of all these different ERP products is to be able to do the digitalization of information. Now, why do we care about digitalization? Because that way you can do better reporting and analytics. And because it will allow you to do a better reporting analytics, that is why you can have reporting in the system. So that is why we have here different type of reportings. In SAP, these are the various tools which are there for reporting perspective, for search help, for report transaction, report printer, LIS, SIS, special ledger, queries, the various BI and BWC. The BI basically means business intelligence, BW. There are different tools which are available in SAP to perform and allow, analyze different type of reportings. That is what we have here. Okay. Then we also have SAP S/4HANA. Okay. Now, what is SAP S/4HANA? So SAP S/4HANA is basically discuss and talk about the fourth generation S4. 4. So 4 basically means fourth generation ERP. Okay. So SAP S/4HANA is basically the fourth generation ERP. Now, what is SAP HANA? Now remember, there is a word called SAP HANA and there is a word called SAP S/4HANA. We cannot intermix them. So SAP HANA is SAP's in-memory processing database, is a special type of database which works on the concept of in-memory processing computing. In-memory processing computing. That is where the HANA database basically works. And then we have a other product which is called in the HANA, and we can also have, so SAP HANA is SAP's database. Is a special type of database, is a in-memory processing database. Now, why this database? Why this database? What does this database do? So here, if you look at the slide here, 77 minutes to 13 seconds. So which basically means that if it takes 77 minutes to process an information, then with SAP HANA, you can process the same information in 13 seconds. So 77 minutes to 13 seconds. And that degree of fast reporting analytics is being bring by SAP HANA database. Now, this is how this has evolved over the period of time. Now, let's understand this also. So SAP HANA database was introduced in 2011, so almost 15 years. Then in 2012, SAP HANA database was enabled on BW. In 2013, SAP HANA database was enabled on SAP ERP, or ECC as it used to be called. And in 2014, SAP came with the application based upon HANA that is called Simple Finance. And then in 2015, SAP came with the fourth generation ERP, or the latest ERP or newest ERP, which is called SAP S/4HANA. So SAP HANA is the database. SAP S/4HANA is SAP's fourth generation ERP, latest ERP, two different things. Now, why this ERP? Why SAP came with SAP S/4HANA? What is the reason? What is the purpose? Okay, we can talk about many things. But look at it here. 1,800 times faster analytic and reporting. So that basically means we can analyze a large quantum of data at a very short period of time. And that basically means I have and that is the reporting capability which SAP provides. Now, cloud platform. So SAP also have many products which works on the cloud, or which works on the cloud platform. Okay. Which works on the cloud platform. Understand this. On the cloud platform, we have something called SAP S/4HANA, which is a digital code. So SAP S/4HANA works in both different ways. So SAP S/4HANA works with on cloud and also work without cloud in both methods. And then there is SAP C/4HANA. SAP C/4HANA is SAP's fourth generation cloud-based CRM. SAP has a multiple CRM. Then you have SAP Concur. Okay. And we have a Concur is SAP's cloud-based application for expense management. Then we have a SuccessFactors. SuccessFactors is basically SAP's product for HRMS. Then SAP Ariba. And that basically means SAP comes up. We have a cloud-based supply chain procurement function. Then we have SAP Fieldglass. That is SAP's cloud-based application for external workforce management. And then we have various other components and applications. Then we also have other functions and applications as well. Now let's look at this platform. So nowadays, there is a lot of discussion about AI, right? So what is AI? And why we are talking about this? SAP also have its own AI platform. So we see that is what is called intelligent enterprise framework. So if you see here, AI means artificial intelligence, ML basically means machine learning, IoT means Internet of Things, analytics, and SAP has this platform for several years now for enabling a intelligent enterprise. Okay. This is how the SAP's architecture for AI look like. So the core, the foundation is SAP ERP. See the ERP business application where you have a finance and MM and HR and SD and all those things. Because that's where the data is coming. Then it goes to something called SAP Business Data Cloud. And then that is where we have is various SAP AI agents, which is called Joule. Joule is basically SAP's AI platform. Okay. Now this is how SAP ERP has evolved. So in 60s, 70s, and 80s, we had a mainframe and personal computers. And the goal of that was to enable digital automation. Then in 90s and 2000, SAP came with a client server and also with the internet. And the goal was business process automation. Then we have in a cloud and mobile and big data. And the goal basically was digital transformation. And then in 2010 and 20, SAP came, and now we have an intelligent enterprise, which is enabling with the intelligent technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc., etc. And SAP is not the answer successful without extensive implementation. So last 45 minutes and so, I've been talking to you, SAP is this, SAP is that, and all that and all that. So although SAP is immensely powerful, but there is no Harry Potter in SAP. So SAP is not the answer successful without extensive implementation and support. So if you implement SAP, you get business benefit. If you don't implement and support SAP correctly, you get no business benefit at all. So answer is not in SAP, but in implementation. It's not that you buy SAP software from the Walmart and put into every computer of a company and some magic will happen. Nothing will happen. SAP must be implemented. And who does that? The implementation and post-implementation support activities is done by SAP consultant. That is why the role of SAP consultant is centrally important in SAP world. Now, how do we do the training and all those activities? So in our training is a 4-step process. Step number 1 is training. Step number 2 is training assessment services. Step number 3 is resume preparation, marketing, and placement activities. Step number 4, assisting on job. In training happens Saturday and Sunday. Training course duration is approximately 70 to 80 hours, 10 weeks program. Training material in the PDF form will be provided by us. Training class will be video recorded and videos will be provided. Training assignment and homework will be provided. SAP system access will be provided for 1 year. I've been doing SAP for many, many years now. Then step number 2 is a training assessment services. After the training, people don't know where they stand. So we provide mock interviews. We verify homework and assignment. And every student can re-attend the class for 1 year time frame, no additional fees. So after attending the class once, if somebody want to attend the class again and again and again, then every student, any student can attend my class for 1 year time frame, no additional fees. And once people are ready, then we go to step 3, where we do resume preparation, marketing, and placement. So we help in developing resumes. We'll market resume and get placement activities. And once step number 4, when you get on job, and then we help the students on job as well. And I have a YouTube channel. So if I go to, you open the link. So this is a channel, and where we have a Think Tree Technologies, and then there are various videos where we can check, and then all the different videos I keep creating. So there are more than 115 or whatever videos we have managing this channel. Wow. So more than 13 years this channel I maintain, and you're welcome, requested to subscribe. And there's a lot of material which I keep putting into it. Some module specific module demos also, if you are interested in SD or production and fundamentals and others, and then this is the other modules, and you can watch a lot of them. If you miss class for today, some part of it I will send you video, but I have loaded here there as well, so you can watch this also. And then there are so many videos I keep putting, so you're requested to subscribe to the channel. Now another thing is basically, if you go to our website, www.mythinktree website, so there is a lot of information about each individual courses. So if you go here on the live courses, and then live courses, then this is where all the different live courses are. Okay, and then basically we can define, and these are the SD, LE, WM, various modules. If you click on any module, so let's say you are interested in SD, then this is SAP SD, LE, S4HANA plus advanced topic course is a level 3 expert level training. Now how each of the training works: step 1, what happened; step 2, what happened; step 3, what happened; step 4, what happens. So each of the step we have a steps which has been defined here, which people can watch. Then if we go back, and then here we have MM and WM, and this is where we define SAP MM plus WM plus LE, and then this is the information. Okay, and so we have put in all that information here. If you want to, so every course, if you are interested to get more detail about each of the courses which you want to do, which we offer, so we put all that information here, so it's easy for the people to watch it, and then see the information to themselves. Okay, and I put in some other information also. So we see that here, some people want to know interview question, SD interview question, MM interview question, WM interview questions, FI interview questions. So those interview questions and all that also I have put in a website. So people wanna, some point of time they wanted to see those things. So those are also available. And there are the training support activities. So there are some technical information related to what are the SAP tables, related to list of transactions. Then at various advanced topics, I have put in IDOC, EDI, user exit bodies, BAPIs, and all that, SAP activate methodologies, various modules, and what is each module is about, various blogs and videos, and so all that information is also available to the people. And with that, first of all, I would like to thank you all. So Arun, Rajesh, Avinash, Vikrant, Nitin, Malin, Vijender, and Tushar. So thank you everyone, first of all, and for joining the session. And thank you. We have a few minutes left, so if you have any questions, so you can ask me. And more important, Let me publish my contact information. So 973-885-7245. So this is my mobile number. So each of them, each of this number you can watch. Then we have this is 973-885-7245. So you're very, very welcome to watch. See my email address, and this is my website, and you're very welcome to watch all of them. So this is my phone number, email address, website, and also my contact. This number is a US number, so if you are outside the US, you can use WhatsApp as well. So this is also available on the WhatsApp as well. Okay. So thank you very much. And if anybody has any questions, please do let me know. I will be more than happy to assist and answer in any other questions. If there is no question, then I think we are done for today. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you coming and joining to the session, and I'm looking forward and talk to you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much.